Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. I am Dawn if you are new here. So glad that you have joined us. Today we're going to do some baking, some homemaking things, and work on a fun project that I have going on. So we are starting off this morning with some sourdough hot cross buns. It is the Easter season, and last year we started a new tradition of making hot cross buns just to enjoy this Easter season and to remember why we celebrate in the first place. I am curious if you have any special Easter traditions that you do with your family. I know some people do some resurrection rolls or like a resurrection garden or even Easter baskets for the day, but I'm just curious to know if you guys do anything. So if you wouldn't mind sharing those in the comments, I would love to hear them from you. So I let this dough rise overnight, and now I'm just gonna let it sit and do its thing. I did also end up putting plastic wrap on there instead of a towel to prevent it from drying out. But we got some laundry going, which is honestly just seems to be never ending. But that's okay, right? It means we have people to take care of and clothes to wash for the people we love. And once the laundry was started, I was able to sit down and read through the Bible for a bit. I got this Bible recap book and I have really loved it. If this is something you're wanting to do more of, I would highly recommend it. I certainly don't do it as often as I should, but have been enjoying going through that, especially with having the explanations from that book. So I can link that in the description if that's anything interesting to you. But it's certainly been something that I've been trying to do more of. Then we got back to the regular things. I'm so glad that it's getting warmer out to dry clothes out on the line. Yes, we could probably still dry laundry in the winter. I know some people do, but with two little kids, that is just not really in the cards for me. So we just enjoy it when it gets nicer out. And while I absolutely love having a dryer and having access to that, it is refreshing to get outside and do the laundry. It just seems to put things into perspective and just great to have some fresh air, especially when I get to look at the orchard now that we've kind of transformed our backyard, which, by the way, the cherry trees and some peach trees and everything is just starting to poke out, and spring is here. It is so refreshing, and I am just so excited. Especially just to see what all the perennial foods do. See, right there, we got some asparagus popping up, but it's just been great enjoying this warm weather. Now, for the exciting project that I've been doing, maybe it's not exciting to everyone, and truth be told, I've never really done much sewing, but I set out to make the girls' Easter dresses. Now, we will see if both get done before Easter, but either way, I started trying to make an Easter dress for my oldest, and it's actually been going better than I thought it was going to. This is actually supposed to be a trial run, but we will see. Easter is coming up fast, and I'm not sure if we'll be able to make another one. But either way, I've been having a lot of fun just learning a new skill, and I just want to encourage you, if that's you wanting to learn, whether it's sewing or gardening or cooking, the only one who's going to get that done is you. So I just want to say, just try it and start it, because you might be pleasantly surprised, or you might not, but either way, that's the only way you're going to get better at it. So now we can move back to the hot cross buns. So these are a spiced roll with currants are probably the more traditional way, but I had tried cranberries or raisins you can use. And honestly, last year was the first time I had ever tried them, And at first they were a bit different, but I can say that the more I have had them, the more I enjoy them. So they are really delicious. And the more Americanized version of them oftentimes will have a cream cheese piped across on the top, but I do like the flour paste, and you put that on after you do the egg wash, and then you put the flour paste on top to make the cross designs, and then they bake up like that. And that is how I prefer to do it. Now, I hadn't fully read through this recipe, and because I switched recipes at the last minute, because this one was more similar to the spicing that I tried last year when I tried using regular yeast to make hot cross buns. So, anyways, all that said, to say that the second rise was supposed to take a lot longer than just like 2 hours, which I had thought it would, like most overnight doughs. So you can keep that in mind. But this one did use the orange juice from the orange I zested to make a glaze on top, which, by the way, is so delicious. But I will link both of those recipes in both of the sourdough and regular yeast in the description box so you can try them for your own family. And warm with a slab of butter, they are so delicious. So I am browning some butter here. I like to get it nice and brown, but be careful because it is very easy to switch from brown to burnt. But I am browning the butter for some sourdough chocolate chip cookies. These chocolate chip cookies are the best chocolate chip cookie I have ever had. These are the same ones that I sell in my micro bakery, and my customers absolutely love them. They are so good. I think there are three things that make them the best, which are the brown butter, of course, and the sourdough discard just adds a depth and flavor that you just cannot get without it. And then lastly, I top them with sea salt, and they're just, it is the perfect combination. But I am making a batch here to have some extras in the freezer. Now I do this so that, we can have some in the freezer if we were ever to want a sweet treat. But one of the things that I really like to do is have cookies of some sort in the freezer, or any sweet really, so that when we ever have company or someone stops by, that I can offer one to them. It's honestly, no one ever turns it down, and I think people just really like it. They feel welcomed, and it's just kind of a bright spot and sometimes in their day. And it's one of the things that I love to do. I think food is my love language, and honestly, it's kind of a lost art, gifting food to people. So that is honestly more importantly why I am making another batch of cookies, because we are all out. And it's kind of the worst thing when someone stops by and I have nothing to offer them when it comes to food. So we are going to restock and get those in the freezer. Now you can just bake them after they are chilled for a while, but I like to have them ferment in the fridge for a while to get more of the sourdough benefits. So you can just leave that all in one bowl, or like now, because I'm trying to speed up my cookie process, I am scooping while the dough is soft, and that way it can speed things up. But you can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, by going and getting the laundry, like I said earlier, going outside, forcing myself to go outside and getting some fresh air is just such a blessing at the end of a long day. Now it is the next day, and I wanted to show you how the cookies bake up. Now you can leave the dough in the fridge for a day. You can leave it in there for 3 days. If you are actually sensitive to gluten, I would recommend a longer cold ferment, but we are not, but we just do like to have a little bit of that benefit. I will also put the link to the recipe for these cookies in the description below, so you can enjoy them with your family, because we, for one, absolutely love them. I just want to talk about food for just a second. Today, in today's world, we are all about convenience foods and quick and easy, which those certainly have their place. I'm not going to say that. But so many of my memories growing up are centered around food. People eating meals together, holidays. There is just so much more to food than just eating, just nourishing your body. There's so many memories to be made. So I just want to encourage you that it is worth taking the time to make wholesome food for your family and just to enjoy it with them. So for us, when it comes to cookies, having a glass of milk and just cheersing, as maybe you could say, that my kids love, and just enjoying that time together. So I hope you will enjoy that with your family. And lastly, I just put all the cookies into a freezer bag and throw them in the freezer so that way they stay fresh and that I can have a welcoming home for any family and friends that come over. But I hope you enjoyed today following along. Maybe grab some encouragement and some inspiration for things to do in your home. And until next time, I hope to see you in the next video. So bye, friends.